like Attila the Hun. I came here to conquer. Lanes bring the beef, I tell them no donker. They wanna play games, I shock them like Blanca. They still rudimentary, I'm tough like Tonka. And let me get this off my chest. I'm hearing going nowhere, so haters take a rest. Ain't nothing handed, just working hard, sweating. You can take that to the bank. I know I did bet.
What's good, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Drizzle. I, of course, am Tempestt. I want to thank everybody for coming out again to another video. You know, I really appreciate all the support. Couldn't do it without you. Once again, show all the love to Weapon of Choice and to Mind Over Mix-Up. They are our family. They are the homies. Support them. You know, like, comment, subscribe with them, and you know, show them just a little more love, just a little bit. But you know, moving forward with the news, we're gonna hop right in. We had the KOF 15 reveal, and with that, we got Terry Bogard. That was kind of an obvious, it was a gimme, so no big surprise there. What I did like about this trailer is that they definitely showed off more properties of some of the moves. There were ground bounces, there were wall bounces, crumple stuns. There was a lot you could pick apart from this video. And they also showed some like actual match type footage where it was like Terry versus Andy and Terry versus Joe. It's pretty cool. It was a much better reveal this time, so I applaud them on that. The next bit of news is probably the biggest piece of news is the fact that Sony, teamed together with RTS, has bought the EVO Championship Series. Now, if you're not familiar with EVO or the Evolution series, it is a series that started back in the 90s, started by the Cannon brothers, and it used to be called Battle by the Bay, but it is a multi-fighting game tournament that is pretty much, I guess you could call it the Super Bowl of fighting games, if you will. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Well, Super Bowl if you're American, let's just say the World Cup of fighting games, because, you know, soccer, aka, you know, not American football, is probably a more apt description. But yeah, it's the big fighting game event. That's going to be interesting. They're taking over this year. It's happening. It's going to be online, so hopefully we'll return to offline when we can. But the games that are going to happen, it's going to be Street Fighter 5, Tekken 7, which is going to be on PC. Tekken 7 is going to be on PC, so that's cool. Mortal Kombat 11 and Guilty Gear. So those are the games that they're going to feature. They also said that they are still going to be open to other consoles, which means that there will be other games that can happen. If there's a new KI, that means that, you know, it won't be out of the realm for that to happen. If there's a new Nintendo fighting game and Nintendo decides not to be jerks about it, we could see that too. But, you know, that's cool. We'll see more as it develops. Now, moving into our subject, just gonna kind of briefly touch on something I spoke about before, but it's kind of like reading the room type of situation. And we're gonna talk about how we talk about ourselves. And this is more along the lines of when we're the better player. So when we have situations where we have a group of people, and this is not always a competitive thing, this could even be a casual situation. We have a group of people and perhaps there is a player, you may be this player where you're just the guy or the girl or, you know, that person in that group that everybody just looks up to because you're the go-to person, right? And, you know, they're like, oh, this is my friend, they're so good, blase, and you're like, you know, I'm not really that good. It's not always good to downplay yourself. Especially because at some point your friends are going to start taking offense to it, because if you beat them all the time and you're telling them, well, I'm not that good, I'm kind of bad, what do they think? Well, if you're bad and you're beating me all the time, what does that mean? And consequently, think about how the people that you beat in tournament, if you happen to go to tournaments, how do they feel? If you beat somebody in tournament and you go to, you know, GG's guy, like, oh my god, dude, that was so good. Yo, dude, it was an amazing set, like, you're so good. And you're like, nah, dude, like, I really suck. And that person's like, yo, if you sucked, then what does that say about me? Like, that's what's going on in their head. And yeah, I know it's some people need to get thicker skin, you know, what the first thing is what people will say, but you really got to think about it. Like, it's food to chew on, and I'm not just saying this to be preachy. I used to be guilty of it myself, and somebody brought it to my attention, and I had to really think about it. And it's just a little food for thought, because at times we may get caught up in ourselves or trying to be humble, or maybe sometimes we have like a self-esteem issue like I do, but sometimes we just gotta put on a little bit of a front for those around us, especially if there are people who look up to us and it's our little community. Because if we don't, we could be pushing people away unintentionally. And for those of us who always claim that we want more, there's factors in there, and a lot of times we may unwittingly be the key factor that's keeping people away, because we're trying to be like, well, there's more out there, and blase. People don't want to hear that. You're their hero. You have to act like it. And sure, if you fall down, you got to be the one to get back up and prove to them that that's how you do things. But that's it for today. What do you guys think? Be sure to, leave it in the comments, share with a friend, make sure you like and sub. And as always, be safe. Take care of each other, press buttons, and catch you on the flip side.
Mics, no fights, just hype. My type, do whatever that I gotta do to keep it right. I ain't never been a thug, but I'm about this life. It'll never be games, that's not what I spit. So don't try to act shy, play hard to get. If we feeling it, then we can play ball. If not, then don't step into the court at all. I'm trying to peep what's good. See if I